Good morning students. Today we are going to discuss about database objects. So in this we are going to discuss SQL view, index, clusters, sequence and synonym. So first of all we are going to discuss about SQL views. So a view is a custom tailored presentation of data from one or more tables. A view is nothing but a stored query. A view is like a window through which data on a table can be viewed or changed. It is a virtual table, so it does not have any data of its own. So syntax for creating a view is, the syntax is create view, view name as select column list from table name where condition. So in this syntax, a view name is the name of the view. The select statement is used to define the columns and rows that you want to display in the view. For example, create view, view product as select product ID, product name from product. A view can be dropped using a drop view syntax. The syntax is drop view, view name. See the example, drop view stu underscore view. So here stu underscore is a view. Through this command we can drop the view. Second, we move on to index, SQL index. An index in SQL is created on existing table to retrieve the rows quickly. So when there are thousands of records in a table, retrieving information will take a long time. Therefore, indexes are created on columns which are accessed frequently so that the information can be retrieved quickly. Index can be created on single columns or a group of columns. So when an index is created, automatically it assigns row ID for each row. The syntax for creating an index is create index, index name on table name within bracket column name 1, column name 2, like that we can have n number of columns. The above syntax, index name is the name of the index, table name is the name of the table to which the index columns belongs. Then column 1, column 2 is the list of columns which make up the index. There are two types of index, namely implicit index and explicit index. Implicit index are created when a column is explicitly defined with the primary key or unique key constraint, whereas explicit index are created using the create index syntax. So like view, index also dropped from the memory. The syntax is drop index, index name. For example, drop index, ename index, ename underscore index. So when you give a command like this, the ename index will be removed from the memory. Next we move on to clusters. So clusters also used for faster retrieval of information. It is also improve the performance of fast retrieval of data from the table. Clusters can be created using create cluster command. The syntax is create cluster, cluster name, column name followed by data types. For example, create cluster dept underscore emp cluster within bracket the field name dept number of 2. Clusters can also be removed from the memory using the command drop cluster, cluster name. For example, drop cluster dept underscore emp cluster. The fourth one is a sequence. A sequence is a database object used to generate unique integers for users' primary keys. A sequence is created through a create sequence command. Sequence also can be altered and dropped. So when there is when a table doesn't have any primary key, we can create a sequence. The syntax is create sequence, sequence name, increment by n, start with m, maximum n or no maximum value, minimum value, no minimum value, cycle and no cycle, catch and no catch. So except create sequence, sequence name, all other options are optional parameters. So here the sequence name is the name of the sequence, n is the increment value specified by the user. The default for the increment is 1. The user can specify the increment. Start with is the number with which the sequence will begin. Minimum value sequence will generate lower bound. The default is 1 for ascending sequence and 10e27-1 for descending sequence. Max value provides upper bound for sequence. Default is 1 for descending sequence and 10e27-1 for ascending sequence. For example, create sequence EMP number incremented by 1 starts with 1000. So sequence is also removed from the memory using drop sequence command. The syntax is drop sequence, sequence name. For example, drop sequence EMP number. The last one is SNANAM. A SNANAM is an alias name for a table, view, index, etc. Since a SNANAM is nothing but an alias, it requires no storage other than its definition. SNANAMs are often used for security and convenience. The syntax is create SNANAM name for object name. For example, create SNANAM EMPSys for EMP. The above example will create a SNANAM called EMPSys for employee.